everybody, and welcome back to Rise of the Podcast. Kara, what episode is this?
8.
I'm Jeremy.
I'm Kara.
And I'm Brownie.
So this is episode 8. We've been doing this 8 times already.
Okay, so this would mark 2 months, guys.
2 months.
Oh,
2
pretty
months
much,
of
yeah.
podcast.
2 months of podcast.
Hey,
Oh yeah,
hey.
because they're 1 a week. Wow.
Yeah?
That's impressive.
It's hard to believe.
It is hard to believe.
It's felt like a lot longer than me.
Yeah. Okay. If we were to compare though our first podcast to this podcast, I think we would
Night
say
and day.
it would be, because
Night
I
and
know
day.
Jeremy would go through and be like, we're talking about this, and this, and now it's just like, oh, we're into it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. No, we're good.
That's true.
So speaking of me telling us what we're going to talk about.
What are we talking about today, Jeremy?
So
Everything.
Reddit had a poll of everyone's favorite Pokemon. Okay. 52,000 people chimed in. Everybody got 1 vote. And the list completely shocked me. I am blown away at the list.
I have not heard of some of them actually, because they're
Oh, Chris has not seen the poll.
I have not.
So we're going to, Chris,
Hold on, I'm having a little bit of a mic issue here. Sorry. I'm just going to readjust. You guys talk amongst yourselves for a moment.
so Carol, what do you think? Well, I know what Chris is going to guess, but I have trivia coming for you later on. We're going to, because Chris and I have a history of playing Pokemon together. Chris is very proud of his start date for Pokemon Go. I am as well. I remember Chris came over to the house.
You
and
guys are
walked
day
around the
one
corner.
players,
Day
right?
one.
Yeah.
Eevee was the first catch.
I think I started like a couple days later.
Yeah, you did like 2 days, two days later or whatever. But it's the other way around for the new Harry Potter game. So Niantic came out with the new Harry Potter
Wizards Unite, which I think we should kind of wait to talk about that until we have Bill on the show.
Oh, all right.
And Chris and I
okay.
actually agree. We've had a hard time pinning AJ down, so we think Bill should be our first.
Yeah, we can get Bill
Our
in here.
first.
You heard it here first, Bill.
Yeah?
You're coming on the show.
You're gonna.
All right. I'm excited to have Bill on.
Me too. I like.
So make sure that you bring a couple of cool shirts, and we'll do a photo shoot with you, Bill, and get you some stuff ready in case you want to do a game while you're here, too.
Oh, so you hear that?
Okay,
Bill?
I know Bill has a sweet hat, and what's on it? He sent me a picture, and he was like, "Oh, it's a Mandalorian one."
Oh, cool.
So it's really kind of funny. He ordered this hat off Amazon, I think it was, and it said Rebel logo. He ordered a Rebel logo hat, and he gets it in the mail, and he's like, "What is this?" He wrote me. He's like, "Care, what's this logo?" And I was like, "That's Mandalorian." Amazon sent him the wrong one.
That's pretty sweet.
That's really fun.
Yeah, so I'd be like, "Okay, you sent me the wrong one. Also send me the Rebel one, please."
So, okay.
All right, mic issues have been solved.
Back to Pokemon.
So, Chris, what do you think was the number 1 Pokemon of all time?
So this is just a fan poll for
Fan poll.
52,000 voters.
So all you got to vote for was your favorite Pokemon. It wasn't like a 1 to 10 ranking
Nope.
or anything.
1 Pokemon.
And this one received like 2% of the votes, but it was the most votes.
It's got to be Pikachu's the mascot. It has to be Pikachu.
Okay, so we're going to play this.
Okay.
He's not even in the top 10.
Pikachu's not in the top 10. Maybe people are annoyed.
The number
Pikachu?
he got blew me away.
Pikachu came in at 45th.
45th.
Yeah.
Out of roughly, what is it, 720
It's
now?
like
Or
800
is it
something.
800 with the Aloha ones?
Alola, yeah.
Okay.
I was going to say Aloha. It's
So-
Alola.
So Pikachu came in at 45th. All right?
All right.
Take one more stab at number 1 and then I'll tell you.
Charizard.
That's it.
That is it. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I was going to say
Chris.
Charizard first, but I was like, Pikachu's
Oh,
the mascot.
man.
Yeah, Charizard is so insanely popular.
Okay, so Charizard was number 1. All right, we're going to just talk about this for just a couple minutes because it's super fascinating. All right, who do you think was the second most popular?
Before I answer that, do you have stats for literally every Pokemon?
Yes.
Where did Dugtrio land?
Well, thanks a lot, Chris.
Oh, did I spoil something?
I was going to ask Carol what your favorite Pokemon was.
All right, well, I got a backup favorite.
Okay.
Oh,
I don't even know the answer to that.
Neither do I.
Okay, Dugtrio.
Yes.
I'm going to pull them up right here. Here we go. Ready? So Chris is wanting to know his favorite Pokemon. Dugtrio came in at 384th.
That's top half.
For people
True.
willing to spend their votes, Dugtrio got 26 of them.
So, did any Pokemon get 0 votes?
Yes.
Oh.
Guess how many?
4
4 Pokemon got no vote. I would
I
have
was
guessed.
asking Chris. Not you.
We're doing a real bad job of this guy.
That's all right. That's all right.
And so one of the ones that didn't get the votes.
Let me guess. One that Garbodor.
No, got a vote.
He got a vote.
Yes.
The literal
gonna
trash
say-
Pokemon got a vote.
Think Donald Trump.
Oh, gumshoes?
Yes, yes. He didn't get a vote.
I mean, just like dumb. I'm just kidding. That's no political jokes, guys.
No, but I mean,
Right,
his hair, his little
Yeah,
looks
that's-
like Donald
it's-
Trump hair.
I'm literally
funny.
just
No
citing the
political
article. The
anything.
article
That's what it
says-
looks like.
The article says that they attributed it to. It looks too similar to him. So
I suppose. What would so? There's 3 more that didn't get votes.
there's 3 more. We'll come back to all of that.
Okay, yeah,
I wanna-
let's- yeah,
I
let's
wanna,
go through the top 10, that's
Stay
right.
towards the top 10.
I'm
Okay.
actually quite pleased. My favorite is in the top 10.
So Charizard came in first. Number 2.
Wait, let's see if Chris knows who my favorite is.
We're going to get to that as well.
Yes. So we'll get
Okay.
to what your favorite is. Don't. So number 2, well, Mew.
No.
Oh, what else? Who like? It's either got to be insanely powerful, or
I just realized it could be subliminal messaging. It's one of the intro Pokemon on the starting video on the original Red and Blue.
oh, Gengar.
Gengar.
Dang.
I guess also was one of the starting ones.
Nidorino.
But Charizard was as well.
Oh,
yeah. you
yep,
know.
yep.
So it was like Charizard and Gengar, right? And then
I feel like
Nidorino-
Gengar is really wildly popular around a lot of people because, like, I've seen tons of Gengar hats.
Like Hot Topic sells a
Yeah.
lot of
He,
Gengar
well,
stuff.
he was like OG superpower because like back in the Gen 1 games, your special stat was your special attack and defense.
Yes, it was.
And because he had a high special stat, he was like the only thing they could really compare with like Alakazam and Mewtwo and stuff. And he was,
Right.
I think, doesn't Ghost counter Psychic?
It did in Gen 1.
So yeah, like that was like the only thing you could use to beat other people's like Mewtwo's and stuff. So
Yep. He was an OG. Okay. Number 3 was a little surprising to me. Okay, so Charizard came in with 1,107 votes, which
that's
is
a pretty solid.
a lot of diehard Charizard fans, and barely beat out Gengar at 1,056.
Dang, that was
So,
close.
That was pretty close. Number 3, take a guess.
What gen?
All Gen 1 so
All
far.
these are Gen 1. Oh man.
Can't beat the Gen 1.
I was going to say, they're the originals. I mean, come on now.
Does Pokemon evolved via Firestone?
Oh, Flareon then.
Nope.
No. Arcanine.
Arcanine.
People love doggos.
So, Charizard,
Dog
Gengar,
doesn't.
Arcanine. Coming in at number 4.
Is my
Kara's
favorite?
Okay, what
Pokemon.
is Kara's favorite Pokemon that also other people would like? Far-fetched.
Okay, I'll give you a hint. People say Ash's really favorite Pokemon is this Pokemon as well.
Butterfree?
Nope. He's had him the longest and he never
Okay,
evolved him.
Butterfree is really cool in the show, but not Butterfree.
Butterfree. Oh, okay. I'm not going to say that. What? Okay. He never evolved it. Bulbasaur?
Bulbasaur.
Yes,
Oh,
I
yeah.
love
Obviously, I should have known that.
Bulbasaur.
Yeah, and you've told me that it's your favorite
He's
Pokemon,
so
too.
cute. Just little Bulba.
Bulba.
I did.
I
He's
love
so
him.
he is a cool.
I haven't even seen the Orange Islands on the anime
They're
yet,
really
but
good.
I would have figured he would have evolved Bulbasaur. That's
Okay, so
interesting.
Bulba had the opportunity to evolve, but he stopped.
He stopped. There's
He
also
prevents-
another really good
And I think
episode
Ash
where-
was like, my Bulbasaur's not evolving, and it was basically Bulba's choice that he didn't want to evolve.
There's another good
Interesting.
episode too where Pikachu and I think Charizard are in like grave danger and Bulbasaur saves the day. And he just like Ash always like loves Bulba. He has him the longest besides Pikachu.
He's by far my favorite.
So now we break out of Gen 1, and I won't drag this on too long, but we break out of Gen 1. I'll just name these off. You got, so Bulbasaur had a strong 710. So
Yeah,
there's some,
that
you
is-
know, you had the top 3, and then you got that. Okay, so we got Blaziken. Boo.
He's okay.
Umbreon, I can understand.
Yep.
Lucario, which is a
Oh,
cool Pokemon.
yeah,
A lot of
Lucario.
people, yep. Gardevoir.
Yeah. Well,
You love Gardevoir, right? Or do you like...
I like Gallade.
That's right. Okay,
Okay,
so
now we're getting into Pokemon that I don't know.
there's a cute little psychic Pokemon. It's got white.
Waltz.
It looks like a squid. Like Squidward, actually.
It's
It's Sprite does.
yeah.
And he's got white lower half, green head, and then he can evolve into a fighting type or a psychic type.
Well, it's
always psychic.
It's always psychic, but so if it's a female, it becomes Gardevoir. If it's a male, and I think you need an evolutionary item, or maybe it's an area. I don't recall explicitly, but it becomes Gallade, and he's fighting psychic, which is a really crazy strong pairing.
Yeah.
Okay,
So he's awesome.
number 9 is Eevee.
Okay. Yep.
I'm going to cut this off here at the top 10 list. mine made the top 10. If I had to vote for one, I would have probably put my vote here.
Articuno.
No, that's my second.
Okay.
Dragonite.
Dragonite.
Oh, yeah, Dragonite.
My
Jeremy-
boy Dragonite.
Okay,
Oh, I
Dragonite.
love Dragonite.
He's okay. So a lot of times when you
That's the sound he makes.
evolve Pokemon, they just kind of get ugly.
I,
In my
like,
opinion.
Bulbasaur is a perfect example.
Right. But I mean, Dragonite, he just goes from cute to cute to cute.
Yeah, well,
Dragonite
he's
just
cute
stays
is.
cute.
He did it.
You know? So
He's totally
Good
good.
But,
job,
like-
Dragonite.
Okay.
Bulbasaur is an ugly evolve. I'm sorry.
So
Just saying.
that's where so Chris, what was your second favorite Pokemon?
Well, so Butterfree.
Oh, funny.
That's I was like, oh, I shouldn't have said that.
Okay,
That was
so
my number 2.
I like Butterfree.
I'm gonna wrap this up too because this is pretty interesting. Or I'm gonna get back to these really quick. There's just some really cool facts. I'll try to get through it quickly. 4 Pokemon that didn't get any votes. Well, it's Yungos was the one you were thinking
Oh,
of. but
okay.
Yeah,
Gumshoe's evolved for him.
Yep. Electric, which is that electric eel.
Oh, okay.
It's like ground electric. It's a great Pokemon. I don't know why people like him. Gothita. She was
Oh,
later.
yep.
That was a Pokemon they made following a certain trend in Japan, clothes-wise. Like it was like a gothic, sad Pokemon.
Yeah.
And then this one cracks me up because Kakuna and Metapod got votes, but Silcoon did not.
Oh.
But the other form of it did. So it was like, that was pretty funny.
But everybody else, every other Pokemon got at least 1 vote.
Yes.
Every other Pokemon got 1 vote, and there's a list of the
Oh.
1 voters. There is
Oh, really?
2, 4, 6, 8, 9 of them. Execute got 1 vote. Baltoy got 1 vote. Skorupi, Patrat, Sewaddle, Alomalama, Trumpbeak, and Cosmoan. all got
Aloma
one
Llama. I
vote.
feel I need to say that because
It's
I love llama.
Alomamola.
Oh,
Alomamola.
It's
It's
not a llama.
that little pink fish.
Oh, it's not a llama.
It's
Fine.
it's ALOMOMO.
Is there a llama Pokemon?
Oh.
There's a horse Pokemon.
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
Mudsdale.
Ponyta and
Well,
Oh yeah.
I was thinking Mudsdale. That's so funny. All right, so as far as the
Oh my
Pokemon,
God.
Because
But that's
Ponyta
not
and
Ponyta.
Rapidash are they're ponies, not horses.
yeah.
Rapidash is a horse.
I don't know.
Okay. So I'm going to finish with the last coolest stat. They broke it down by Pokemon type. So fire obviously was Charizard. Grass was obviously Bulbasaur. How about for water? Most
Oh,
votes?
what was the most voted water?
Squirtle.
Yeah, I would make a Squirtle squad
Squirtle.
represent.
I love Squirtle. I think it's hard for me to choose my favorite of the 3 starters, and I mean Bulbasaur and then Squirtle and Charmander are very close second for me.
They're the most iconic.
Yeah.
Okay. Electric is not Pikachu.
It's not Pikachu.
Nope.
No, not Zapdos.
Who's the Electabuzz?
Nope.
No.
Okay, I've got
Jolteon.
to do Electabuzzes. That's Electabuzz's sound. It is.
so
It's my favorite. That's the type of humor that I do enjoy because like everybody else says, 99% of Pokemon say their own name. Anyways, all right.
true.
It's Ampharos. That's like that giraffe. Electric giraffe.
No, Ampharos is good.
Yeah. Ground is Flygon.
Boo, Doug Trio.
Ice is the Alolan Ninetales. Actually,
Interesting.
Oh, that's cool. But Ninetales is kind of cool. I like
Rock.
Ninetales.
We have a great Pokemon Go story. I remember I got this Pokemon in Pokemon Go through a raid. Rock. It was a big deal. We were down by City Hall. Really, really good rock Pokemon.
Right. Oh, Tyranitar.
Boom.
Yeah.
Chris got it. Man, that game is awesome. Mm-hmm. I mean, people remember like
People asked me to go rating with them today, and it's like I got to go do the
Really?
podcast.
Sorry, dudes.
I'm a pretty strong rating player, so
we should go on another raid. Just
Well,
for,
here's what we should do. We 3, for our Instagram or something, just go walk Leif Erikson.
oh yeah, absolutely.
Oh, dope. Yeah.
You know how
I
many
love-
gyms there are, but Pokestops there are?
I'm still
So
blown
many.
away when I.
I've got tons of lures too. I could lure it up.
Well, I'm
Right?
still
Let's
blown
do
away
it.
when I see lures lit up around places. And then Ghost was Gengar, Fighting was Blaziken, Normal was Eevee, Dark is Umbreon, Poison's Gengar, Dragon is, well, Charizard is the soft, it would be Dragonite. Fairy, Gardevoir, Bug, Caesar, and Psychic was Gardevoir as well. So,
Oh, Gengar got in there twice. Poison and Ghost.
Yep. Oh, that's right. Because Gardevoir is Fairy Psychic, and then Fighting Psychic.
that's
is
what it
Gallade,
was. Yeah,
yep.
that was the other one. So that was just like a really cool thing that I saw happen because Pokemon, you've got they don't ever really leave the limelight, and so and it's one of Nintendo's flagship games, And I loved it. So I thought it was really cool to see how the world views Pokemon. And like you said, it wasn't like a ranking, like rank your top 10. It
Right.
was you get one vote to spend on your favorite
Right.
Pokemon. What would it be? And
Oh, mine would have gone to Bulbasaur 110%.
yeah, Chris would have been absolutely proud to click Doug Trio.
Absolutely.
He would've been like,
He was. As soon as they added in the stupid abilities like levitate and stuff like that, they just totally wrecked Doug Trio.
Yeah, they nerfed him, more or less.
because you can't use ground moves on stuff that has levitate. And like Doug Trio used to be awesome against ghosts, and every effing ghost has levitate now.
Yes.
So Doug Trio is so good because he's really high physical, really high speed. So if you could get like your dig train like going, like
Right.
nobody could ever hit you, and you just
Right.
start one shotting people.
Oh yeah, it was
Crazy.
It was such a good list. So speaking of Nintendo, I want to talk about Super Mario Maker 2. Have you heard of it at least, Chris?
Yes,
It's
I'm familiar with it.
vastly popular in the DS, and it just came out on the Nintendo Switch, and I finally jumped on board. Now, I've seen highlight videos on YouTube of people playing Super Mario Maker, and it's like something I've wanted to try, but it makes it, it kind of seems like it might be out of like the ballpark or whatever of my abilities even, because these speedrunners look so crazy cool. But I got it, and Kara and I got to play it a little bit this morning, and I am in love with this game. They did such an outstanding job, and what I love is Nintendo has such a way of just making video games absolutely fun. So here's what's great, Chris. This new Mario Maker, and the other one might too, but 2 has it. It's got 100 single-player levels that come with the game that were curated by Nintendo. And then, of course, you have the online. So it's kind of like Little Big Planet in a way where you can create these maps and then really in depth and then give them out to the community and play them and doing stuff like that. And you can tell, like, it's just absolutely ingenious. The first 15 or 20 levels all have a unique mechanic involving the way you play Mario, and it's teaching you how to build levels, but it's so what is it when it's like not apparent? It's not subtle.
It's like it's
Obvious.
No, I know the word you're thinking of. It's like so natural to the process.
Yes. And I was thinking to myself, I'm like, okay, this is exactly would be a cool mechanic if you were to build a level. So it teaches you how to do this. And they've really outdone themselves because you go back and you can build a level, and Mario has his abilities from Super Mario World for the Super Nintendo. Then you can make a level that is strictly the original Mario. So the way that he's got a little bit of running leg and stuff like that is all, you can make levels with that gen of like blocks and enemies and stuff like that, all the way up to the newest Mario game. So it's so cool the way that you can make these levels, you can do all these different things inside this game, and I am blown away at how creative these people are in the game. So I'm really excited to see where it goes and actually maybe make like a speed running video or something like that. And then the opening level, like when you start the game, there's a level, but you can play it or you can just hit like start and it goes past it. The opening level, you have to hold right and run through the entire thing. And if you time your jumps right, you can beat the whole level by just running and jumping through the whole thing. And so it's really cool. And that's a common thing people do in Mario making. It's called speed running. And so I played a map that was like that. And you had to, every single time you jumped, you hit a switch and it switched the floor out. So it was red and blue. So as soon as you hit it, red goes to blue and blue goes, and then so you have to like jump and time your jumps right. And then you have also like a half a second roughly to play with before the level ends. So I like beat it twice, but I was just too slow on a couple of the jumps or something like that. It was really fascinating game. So I got to give a big shout out to just like Nintendo for making just cool content all the time, because it's like just so cool. It's a really good game. So you got to try it?
Yeah, I got to play one level. Jeremy's like, here, Kara, this is going to be an easy level. I'm going to let you play it. And so I start playing, and I'm like, this is easy? So you're running, and you jump through one of the tubes, and all of a sudden you're playing upside down. And so, your brain is like...
Gravity switches.
And you're like, I'm jumping, but I'm hitting the ceiling. Like, I'm, falling back to the ceiling. It messed with me. Jeremy looks at me, he's like, maybe I gave you too hard of a level. I beat it. I did beat it.
Kara did beat it.
But he even acknowledged that it was hard.
So it's really cool. So I'm super excited too. Like I want to make a level, but then I'll advertise it on Rise of the Podcast for people to go try out.
And anybody that makes custom levels, they want to see Jeremy play, maybe.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Send them to us. I would love to do that.
Yeah.
And so then you get coins for beating the levels. Like you get a multiplayer profile, and it gives you coins and points and keeps track of the levels that you've beaten online. So you can kind of like brag if you play a lot of people's levels. So there's a reason to play people's levels. There's a reason to create levels. And then you have to, as a level creator, you have to be like conservative with like how many coins and stuff you give out. So there's a set limit you can do, and you can hide them in certain places. It's just unbelievable the stuff that you can do. And it was like, do you remember playing Super Mario Maker on the TI-83? Or you could like...
Yes, yep.
That was the thing to have in the calculator. And it was like, if you didn't have a lot of friends, no one would trade with you, you know? So it was like you had to wait till one of your friends traded with their friends to get the TI-83 version of it. You know, I couldn't believe it. I loved doing that. Explains my bad grades in middle school.
Yeah. Did you ever get bad grades?
Oh, I did. Absolutely.
Really?
Yeah. I didn't. I took school for granted.
Yeah, no, I did the same thing in high school.
That
Yeah.
shocks me because Jeremy graduated summa cum laude.
That's because I know the importance of it now, you know.
Wifey
there's
can
perspective,
brag on the
yeah.
husband.
So, you know, I learned a lot, but yeah, no, I totally like written it off. I'm gonna give a shout out to Miss Abrahamson because she was like really like one of Chris and I's believers. Like she really motivated us and encouraged us to like, hey guys, you are like
Better than this?
you can do much better for yourselves.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, she's awesome.
She supported us
Oh.
just tenfold. She would like check us out cameras and let us go do stuff for shooting videos and doing stuff like this. And
Oh, I've seen a few of your guys' videos.
oh man,
I think we should post a couple to the Rise of the Podcast YouTube channel.
We'll see about that.
they're no longer in existence.
Oh, I know they are because you saw a DVD in your little book and
The
you were
monkey
like,
trial.
Oh man, with the Nutcrackers.
We filmed the whole thing with Nutcrackers.
oh my gosh.
What a terrible video.
Oh man.
Keep in mind that was what, like 2002 or 2003, something like
My
that.
gosh, we were just babies.
It was so
Oh. But shout out your favorite teacher down in the comment section below. I think that'd be kind of a cool thing to do. Like most people, even if they didn't like school, has some teacher that did something a little bit extra to make their time there a little bit better.
absolutely. I want to read some of these responses
I was
because
gonna say.
Kara's really good friend's a teacher. Mimi.
Yeah, my best friend is a teacher.
Yeah.
And my favorite teacher, my mom.
Oh yeah, Kara was homeschooled.
I was homeschooled.
So did you get straight A's?
I did not get straight A's. Math, I actually failed. Yeah, algebra.
For shame.
I suck at math. Like, I can do easy math in my head like nothing. But when it comes to like formulas or whatever, nope, can't do it.
I actually did some algebra yesterday with my roommate. Long story short, he thought he discovered some grand mathematical like secret to the universe, and in reality, all he did was figure out that if you divide 1 by 1/8, it equals 8. So
Chris has an awesome magical universe trick that I have used throughout my entire college career all the time. Hey Kara, give Chris I'll give him. Ready? You ready for this? Mm-hmm. Chris, tell me the most I can get wrong to get an A if I take a 150-point quiz.
you can get 15 wrong.
He's absolutely correct. That is 90%. Hey, Chris, 227-point scale. How many could I get wrong to get an A?
You can get 22 depending on if you get fractional points. Otherwise, you can get up to 22 and a half wrong.
Okay.
Okay, so I think I've seen this so if you need to get like X percent of a number, you make the number the percent and the percent the number, and it's easier to figure out.
It's actually
like, what's 2% of 50? You would go
2% of 50 is. Oh gosh, that's not how I do this trick.
Yeah.
This is only for calculating A's, and it's
A's.
literally you just move the decimal
Or
point
B's or
over.
C's or
Yeah.
D's.
oh okay.
Yeah, so
No.
like if you need to pass with a C, so you need a 70% and it's a 45 question test, you would be able to get 13 and a half points off before you would get less than a C. And that's literally just you look at your 45 point test, every 4.5 points is 10%. You just divide by 10. And then you just add them together to see where your grade tiers are.
All right.
Yep.
So I use that all through college too. It's like how little assignments can I do and still get a 90% in this class?
Yep.
Oh,
It's so
that's
funny because
horrible.
it works with any one. 500-point quiz or 500-point assignment. Every 50 points is an A, B, C, or D. So 450, A, And this was like before the internet. Like we had the.
Yeah, we were in physics class in high school.
Yes, when you figured that out. That's when we had Netscape Navigator.
Oh my god.
Hey, Derek, if you're listening to this podcast, tell me about Netscape Navigator when I come back. We were talking about like there's some generation now that don't even remember or they weren't even born yet for September 11th, which was just that was like a world changing event for.
I know.
Everybody.
Trust me, a lot of my patients.
Yeah.
I have kids come and sit in my chair, and I'm like, I'm old enough to be this child's mother, and that blows me away. I'm like, oh my gosh. Mm-hmm. It makes me feel old.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, these little 11, 12-year-olds, and I'm like, oh.
Well, my roommate's 2 years younger than me, and he has a 9-year-old and a 7-year-old. So
I know. My goddaughter's 13, and I'm older than her mother.
So
that's
yeah,
ridiculous.
I love those. It's just because we're showing our age, but I love those the relationship between a pencil and a tape, cassette,
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so I don't know if this is true. But somebody posted a picture of a cassette tape that it was a Leonard Skinner cassette tape that they found in a riverbank, their kid found it, and the kid was like, "Mom, is this from the Civil War?"
Oh my goodness!
It's like,
This is from the Civil War.
not quite that old, but
Yeah,
I feel like the public education system has failed that child, and they think the Civil War was anywhere close to cassette tapes.
I mean, granted, it was probably a 6-7-year-old or whatever, but
oh
yeah.
boy.
Well,
it makes me feel old.
Being that we're predominantly a Star Wars channel, I'm going to go ahead and talk about just a really cute little quick story about Star Wars. So Father's Day was just a couple weeks ago, and I was at Target, and I was running there to get something, and as I was going through the checkout, there was just a little girl, and she was just holding this card for her father, and she puts it up there, and then the cashier goes, "Oh, it's a Star Wars card. Does your dad like Star Wars?" And she goes, "Does my dad like Star Wars? My dad loves Star Wars, and I can't wait." And all I could think to myself was how much the dad is gonna love the card. And it was so fun to see just that little girl's excitement and to give a gift. And
Which one was it? Which card was it?
It was the Han Solo dad one.
Oh, I think that's the one I got my dad.
Yeah.
Which I have yet to give my dad. They were
We're
gone
both
for
horrible.
Father's
They were
Day.
both gone.
They were
We
gone.
haven't seen them since.
Yeah. So it's I haven't. I will get it to him.
On the 4th of July.
Yeah. Spoiler alert, Tim. You're getting a card.
So I just thought that was the cutest thing. And it was and that it bridges the gap is that I can be a part of that experience because I share that same Star Wars thing. And I think I might have said this before is people know you like something and they never know what to get you. Well, I'm easy to shop for because people will default to Star Wars. And the funny thing is I've gotten a lot of Star Wars gifts, no duplicates.
There's a lot of Star Wars stuff out there.
Yeah, I think that speaks to the power of the merchandising.
Yeah.
I think more than
Yeah.
No duplicates. People keep getting me, Star Wars stuff, and it makes it pretty easy. But it was just the cutest thing to see this girl get that excited about getting her dad a Star Wars Day card.
That's really cool.
It was super cute.
Yeah, it is.
And then
Our
you have
kids are going to be like that.
Well, yeah. What do you want to
They're
get
gonna hate
Daddy?
Star Wars. They're
Yeah,
gonna be like,
right.
we like Star
Star
Trek.
Trek.
Picard.
Oh my gosh.
I do like Star Trek.
No, it's
Yeah,
not
it's
a bad
good.
show.
No,
it's
it's
just Star Wars. That's where it's at.
They're gonna say, "Dad, cosplay as who's the bald one?"
Yeah,
Jean-Luc
Jean-Luc
Picard.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Cosplay
I will give you $1,000 if you cosplay as Jean-Luc Picard at Star Wars Celebration.
Yeah.
No. Okay, no. Here's what we need to do. So William Shatner
It's gonna be at
is going to be at
GalaxyCon,
GalaxyCon.
which we're going in November.
Which would be, and it'd be super funny if you dressed up as Picard
Oh my goodness.
instead of
One Punch Man.
Captain Kirk.
I was gonna do One Punch Man for GalaxyCon.
You can
You
have
can do
two
both.
costumes,
They're both really easy costumes.
I mean-
it's a jumpsuit or a jumpsuit.
right? And a bald cap with both.
I can do one of those things, how you have the outfit that you twirl and it changes into another outfit.
Right,
I'll
yes.
do that and I'll change from
Just a
One
quick
Punch Man
change.
to Picard.
It'd be so great. Please
So,
do that.
And then this weekend was a big garage sale weekend. So we had our garage sale, and it was pretty decent turnout. It was pretty
Yeah,
fun.
we did a pretty good job.
And Kara,
So I had a friend stop over, Serenity, Bill's wife, and she and I were just shooting the breeze, and she's actually reading the Ahsoka book right now. And she asked me, she's like, "So at this point in the Star Wars timeline, does Ahsoka know that Anakin is Darth Vader because the way the book reads, it doesn't seem like that's the way it is. And I was about ready to answer her, and all of a sudden I heard this woman answer and say, she has no idea at this point. And I'm like, wait, what now? And I look behind me, and there are two women. And
Garage sailing now.
garage sailing, yeah. And they're like, yeah, she has no idea at this point. I'm like, you guys like Star Wars. Because, I mean, it's not very often you meet women who are, I mean, in our town, in Duluth, it's non-existent. But yeah, these women are very knowledgeable about Star Wars. And so we sat there for probably a good 15 minutes talking of nothing other than Star Wars.
So, hello, random garage sale people. If you're watching this, subscribe because you said that you would.
Yeah.
And if you're watching this and you want to be on here and talk about Star Wars,
Seriously,
That's
yeah.
what you should have
They've
done.
been reading books. She just read the Padme Queen Shadow.
Oh, I want to read that
Yeah,
one.
listen to it. She's been doing a lot of audiobooks. So yeah, she just listened to Queen Shadow, which I would like to listen to as well. And that came out in April, didn't it?
Yeah.
It was
because it was out
for
of Celebration.
Celebration, yeah. But yeah, she's been listening to a lot of the Star Wars audiobooks. They stopped watching Resistance.
No.
because of the graphics. And I
Oh,
agree,
but
like I'm not the biggest fan of the way they decided to draw it. But
It's hard coming
Excellent
from,
show.
All right, I got to stick up for Resistance.
no, it's a good show. I love it.
Love the animation in the Clone Wars.
Me too.
Love it. Like, it is solid. It is, like,
Yeah.
the best of the cartoon shows. Rebels took me for a while to adjust to. But
I
now
remember you
love-
saying that, yeah.
I love Rebels now. Like, I like the animation. I really like it. The first episode of Resistance, it's like, what are they doing to me here? Nope, totally love it. It's
Yeah,
good.
you just
It's
have to
fine.
you have to watch a few episodes, and once you're past those few episodes, it's
That-
like, okay, whatever, this is totally cool.
We, like, we wouldn't have some of the stuff we have now, like the Gorg, which we
Right.
have the stuffed Gorg.
I love my
with
Gorg.
The big eyes. We have, like, you have the tall chicken leg guy and then the
Can you
short
please
pig guy.
cosplay as the chicken guy?
No.
Please? I'll make you the costume.
And then you have, the main
Kaz.
character, Kaz. You've got BB-8.
Oh,
You've got BB-8's girlfriend.
I remember
Poe.
who I wanted to cosplay as my third
Oh, the
cosplay,
pirate.
Sonara.
Sonara the pirate.
Yeah.
So you have all these new iconic characters. Resistance is a great show.
It's a very good show. You need to watch it, Chris.
It's really, really good.
But you need to
I-
finish watching Clone Wars, don't
I need
you?
to start watching Clone Wars.
Wait, you haven't
Oh,
even started Clone
so
Wars. Oh my
good.
gosh.
Quick Clone Wars related thing. So my sister is watching the Clone Wars, name that Lego brick,
Oh,
Yeah.
and she got all of them right.
no way.
Every single one.
She got all of
Has
them
she
right.
seen the show?
Yeah,
Gwen, have you
well,
seen the
she
show?
She
yeah,
got
she
Wolf
has.
right?
Yeah, she got all of them right.
Wow.
How did she get Wolf?
She just guessed. She's like, because she knew there was so many whatever. So she's like, though he tricked him up with this, so it's probably gonna be like whatever.
Right.
So
That's impressive.
Yeah, that's very
Kyle
impressive.
watched it and he got everyone right except for Dooku at the end. And he's like, there's no
what?
way.
How
He's
did
like, he said he looks like Lord Business. He's like, that is Will
Okay,
Ferrell.
well, obviously,
It is-
Lord
it is-
Business is not in Star Wars.
it's not a great rendition
Kyle.
of Dooku,
but
but
it is Dooku.
But it's definitely Dooku.
Yeah, obvious. Yes, it's Dooku. Kyle, what are you thinking?
Yeah, it was, he was
Good
like,
Lord.
he got them all. He's like, oh, yep, that's so-and-so, that's so-and-so. He named them all. And
Really?
Dooku stumped him. He's like, what? Who is that?
Okay, I didn't know that Wolf had his own Lego minifigure. So I think that's what threw me. Like I
I
knew.
think you got me this set with that figure in it.
Did I? Which
Yeah,
one?
The tank.
Okay, that's Old Wolf.
Oh, that is Old Wolf.
Yeah. It's
And
not.
I'm not
It's
the
not the
only
young
one
one.
who says wolf, by the way.
Who else
I
is
watched a
Wolf?
really great video, and it was 50 states and one person from each state do their accent. And there's one woman, and so they each say like one thing.
Where's she from?
Pennsylvania? And she says a lot of people give her a hard time for saying, she goes, I say wolf, not wolf.
Yeah, Jeremy does not pronounce the L when it comes to wolf.
It says woof.
He says
Yep.
wolf.
Yeah, it's a
so,
wolf.
okay, funny story.
I feel like I'm saying it.
Jeremy bought a new game few years ago, probably 3-4 years ago. And he's telling me about it. And I'm sitting there thinking it's a child's game.
Chris, take a guess at the name of the game. It is not a child's game.
I'm trying to think of what would have come out that's relevant for this. It was a few years ago. I don't know, like
Wolf.
There's a second one now.
Wolf. Wolf in...
oh yeah, Wolfenstein.
Yeah. So Jeremy's talking about Wolfenstein.
I said, yeah, here, I'm playing Wolfenstein.
And I'm like, Wolfenstein. what kind of game is this? Like,
It's like a
but
reanimated dog.
Right? In my brain, I'm thinking like Paw Patrol type stuff. I'm like, what did Mary?
It's a Paw Patrol Halloween DLC.
So I had no idea. And I was like, Wolfenstein, what? And Jeremy started talking about like this German World War II. And I'm like, what? And I think you finally were like, okay, Wolfenstein. And I'm like, oh, okay. That cleared it up 100% for me. I'm like, Wolfenstein.
I will give you a bonus point in the next game we play if you can tell me the name of the main character of the Wolfenstein series.
I might be able to tell you before the end of this episode.
It's
Give me your iPad and give me your phone.
Chris has my phone.
Oh, Chris has your phone. Okay, good.
We'll come back to that.
All right. So then, actually, so another interesting thing. So, Wolfenstein, Doom, and a game that nobody has played apparently. What was my favorite game growing up? Commander Keen.
Never played it.
It's a great game. It's like just like a platform shooter, like side scrolling thing or whatever. It was really, really, really fun. All of them are connected to each other. So Doom Guy is like the great grandson or whatever of the character that you needed to give me the name for. And then Commander Keen is like in between them because he ends up like traveling to Mars to do this whole adventure or whatever. But they're all part of the same family, but again, that's all from the same company. And there's little Easter eggs for all of them in all the different
Well, that's cool.
properties. But so the name of the main character in Wolfenstein is BJ Blazkowicz.
Blazkowicz. I would not have got it, but the second you said it, as soon as you said his first initials, I knew who it was.
Yep.
Because they yell at him all the time. When
Well,
you play
so
the game.
the reason I knew it is in the Spear of Destiny game manual. It tells you what the name of the character is.
That's pretty cool.
So, and I played Spear of Destiny. So this is way, way, way like 94, 95 or something when it was the sequel to Wolfenstein 3D, which was 1992, I believe.
Oh, it was like a multi-floppy disk install.
Yes, that was the insane thing. It was like
floppy
7 floppies.
Yeah, which is only like 8 megabytes.
Ugh, just outrageous. Yeah, so what is it, 144?
144.
I remember now, not when
Yeah.
you asked me the other day.
Yeah. The funny thing is the original Sega game that came out on the Sega Genesis, they only used 7/8 of the available memory. And so 1/8 of the memory was them just going, Sega.
I remember that.
That was
yep.
1/8 of the memory of the entire game.
Yep, for all of their games.
The Hill Zone, all the levels, all the animation, all the programming to make it move. Nope. Sega, 1/8 of the memory.
Like what's a Blu-ray now? Like
52 gigs, 54, 50.
so if you imagine like the Xbox load screen
I
loading the
know.
schwang or whatever it is that it does, is like what would that be, like 15 gigs?
Yes, that'd be the equivalent. the equivalent ratio. It's that much, yeah.
Yeah, that's how absurd the data ratio is to game
Oh my gosh.
to Sega.
Yeah, Sega.
Oh man.
So, yeah, that was crazy. So
Technology's come a long way.
yeah, no, it really has. But That was one big tangent from garage sales.
Oh
Yes, it
my
was.
gosh.
Yeah, we were talking about
sorry.
garage sales.
Bring
No,
that back
no.
around.
But then, okay, so speaking of garage sales and video games, we actually had a guy stop by, and it was Super Mario.
Super Mario for the Wii.
Yeah.
Wii U.
A guy stopped in. I mean, we
Made his day.
his absolute day. He saw it, and he was like, how much for this? I was like, $1. He was like, really? I was like, yeah. He was like, Nintendo never has sales. He was like, this is awesome.
They don't.
You know, it's
You look online, even used, and a lot of that
Yeah.
stuff goes for at least $20.
yeah.
I was just happy to, like, that's my thing is like you could donate it, and then Kara likes to, have garage sales and they're fun. But that's why I like to give good deals at garage sales. People come and they feel like they
Right.
got a really good deal. Although, two things. Okay, we're going to talk about garage sales. What we're going to do here. I had one interaction with a guy I thought was really funny. So he walks in and he's like, I know how to garage sale. So I'm like, well, what's that? And he's like, I got to find the thing that's solid gold or whatever.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, that's pretty funny, So he looks around, and then it was like, a lot of people come and look, and they might not buy anything, which is fine. And then this guy goes, oh, found my gold, and he reached over and he pulled out like a
Air pump.
volleyball pump for like a volleyball or a basketball or football, and he's like, I love these things. He's like, I have a ball, a soccer ball or
basketball.
basketball,
Yeah.
And he's like, Yeah, it's got a couple holes in it, and I keep patching it, but he always seems to lose a little air. He goes, I cannot pass this up. So
No, it gets holes in it because he lets his dog chew on it.
Oh.
So he keeps on pumping it up, patching it up for his dog, so he doesn't have to keep buying like a new basketball or anything for
A
it.
new basketball's like $20.
Yeah.
I know.
well,
so
absolutely.
he just keeps refilling the same one and keeps letting his dog chew on it.
That's awesome.
So
I know.
He loved that. But I just thought the whole interaction was really funny because it was like the way he's like, I'm looking for gold. And
We
I was like,
had quite a few awesome people today. They were super cool, and they all loved our signs. We might have to post some pictures.
Kara got some really fun signs.
Yeah.
Her and Mimi do really creative stuff with their signs.
do.
But
They're meme signs, so we
you
might have
should
to
have
post a couple
come
pictures.
by our garage sale because we had a real gold for sale. I was getting rid of old stuff, and I had a Sonic stuffed animal.
Oh my
talking,
goodness!
Still in the box. That
1997 talking Sonic the Hedgehog.
I was gonna sell it for like $1. And while Kara was sitting there today, it was up for sale. Somebody could have bought it.
I mean,
She
it's
looked
in
it
really
up.
good condition.
It's in mint condition. It still has a tag,
and
the box.
the sound box still works. It still says Sonic, I think, or is it Sega?
Yeah.
It might say Sega
Yeah.
or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, so, Kara looked it up online. They sell for around $100 to $150 on eBay.
Dang.
So I was like, I'm not selling this for a quarter anymore. You're coming home with me.
So it's just kind of cool, you know. It was like, because you always see these finds that people get on garage sales, and it's like, who would sell that stuff? But then
know.
now I can empathize with those people because
Right.
like you get so much stuff, and you want to, you know, you don't need it all. So it's like you go to sell it, and
How big is this thing?
it's about this big.
It's this
not too big.
Someone could throw up on the shelf or something?
Yeah,
maybe?
absolutely.
Actually, we totally could instead of, yeah.
absolutely. I should bring some more stuff down here to display.
We should. We need to get our shelves and get those hung
Mm-hmm.
up. But yeah, I couldn't believe it. So I was looking it up, and I thought maybe that was just one person who happens to sell it for more than
Yeah.
right. But no, I kept clicking. I was like, $100, $100, $100. I was like, what? And then the ones that were cheaper were the ones out of the box without its tags. I was like, dang. So kept
And
those
so, Chris,
guys.
I'm really excited, and I won't tell the story on the podcast. Here's what's fun. I realize that the audience is new, and they haven't heard all of my stories yet. So it's like, I feel like I've told this story a lot, and I've got a brand new audience. Have you heard the Steiff Bear story?
I'm sure that I have, but I don't know that. I don't know
right.
your stories by their titles.
Oh, this is so great.
We went to Christopher Robin.
No, it wasn't
last
Christopher
year.
Robin. It was Paddington.
No, it was Christopher Robin.
Was it?
Yes, because Winnie the Pooh.
Okay, Pooh looked like a Steiff. That's right. Okay.
So Winnie the Pooh looks like a Steiff bear. He was modeled after Steiff bear. Steiff is a major, probably the premier, the prestigious bear to have. They've been
Yeah.
making stuffed animals since World War II. So we got done watching Christopher Robin, and I was like, how cool would it be to have an actual Steiff
Really
bear? They
cute
have a
movie.
button in the ear. They're from Germany.
General Kenobi is Christopher Robin.
Yeah, Ewan McGregor is.
So, real quick, not to derail your story, is Christopher Robin a good movie?
Yeah, I thought so. Yeah,
super
absolutely.
cute.
So
Super cute.
I wanted to see it, but then I never got around to it. So
Watch it.
It's no
We like
Paddington.
it.
I love Paddington.
I
when it
haven't
comes
seen
to-
any of the Paddington or
Paddington's
seen
super
any of them,
cute.
so.
Paddington 1 and
Orange
2. They're
marmalade,
both
all the
good.
vitamins and minerals a bear needs for an entire day.
Oh, it's so good.
All right. Anyway, so back to your
Oh,
Steiff
man.
bear.
I'm from Darkest Peru. That's Paddington. Okay, Steiff bear. So we were driving in the car. Kara goes on eBay and she goes, "Oh my goodness, look at this decrepit, beat up Steiff bear." They were not photographers. Whoever did these photos. I have seen a lot of photographs in my day. This bear looked like it was on an autopsy table. It was completely stiff. Cool lighting, like no warmth in the picture at all. And it's a bear, and it's on like a silver metal table, and it's just completely and utterly stiff. And it's got one eye that's like discolored and pink, one eye that's yellow. Half the fur has been rubbed off. It didn't have the button, the signature button. It
The little
was
pin in the ear.
garbage. It looked like a boat anchor, okay?
It looks like that's
Like, no
something they
joking.
sludged up from the bottom of a lake.
Okay, so Kara starts just laughing and laughing in the passenger seat. I said, "What did you do?" She goes, "I put a bid on the bear. $75 for this bear." So I was like, "Kara, what did you do?" And she just thinks it's the funniest thing. She's like, "Wouldn't it be funny if you won? You get a bear. Look at that thing." I was like, "Oh man." So I was like, "Well, hopefully this belonged to like the Queen of England and it'll be worth something or something. So I was like, whatever. So we're driving around. So the next day, so the auction ended in like 8 hours. And so I wake up the next morning and I look and it was like, you've been outbid by another bidder.
Oh my God. I thought for sure.
No. Do you know how much that bear sold for?
$76. I don't know.
$575.
Are you kidding me?
No. I, even knowing that value, I still didn't want to buy it. It was so decrepit. I like between the photography and the condition of the bear.
Oh my God.
And yet,
I wonder if Wayback or something has the picture of that.
oh, I should look. I think I know the listing has been like removed, but I have the email because I don't
saying that
emails.
you've been outbid. Yeah.
Yeah, and it probably has a thumbnail picture of it.
I hope we have that.
If
I
we
want to
have
put
it,
that
we'll
up.
post it over Jeremy's face.
Oh man, but it was
Oh,
so
my God.
funny. You had to see all. I know there's one camera angle for sure.
I've heard this story, and Chris, you laughing made me laugh.
But it's like, do you have any idea? It was like Kara was just thought it was like assuming I was gonna get outbid, but I did not think I was gonna get outbid because
It's a Steiff. You were gonna get outbid. I don't care if it like was missing its head. You would have been outbid.
Just the idea that I wish that you would have won so we could have that up on the show.
oh
right?
man,
That's such a great story. Like,
Yeah.
and the story is worth way more than $75.
well then that means I've got one more story to tell.
Annie, Jeremy's mom, thought it was hilarious that I voted or bid on this thing too. She just thought it was the funniest thing
Yeah,
ever.
my mom they just thought it was hilarious. My mom was like, "Well, you're gonna have a Steiff." I just thought I was gonna win. So about purchasing fails. This is what this is. This is purchasing fails.
God.
Han Yoda Shrek.
Oh my gosh, Dave McParlin.
Have you heard of this? Okay, my really good coworker friend Brenna, she got married in Mexico, and Dave went and shot her wedding, and
Dave's wife.
Dave and Dave's wife went and shot the wedding, and so they're going around and they go to a little
vendor?
store, and he wanted to get me something, and he saw a little tiny paper mache Yoda. And he was just so excited. So he, did his thing, made his deal with the guy, and he asked the guy wouldn't budge on the price, and he asked the guy, if you can name this character, will you give me a deal? Or I'll pay full price if you can name who this is, because it's like this guy probably just like bought these in mass or whatever and is trying to sell them. And so the guy's like, you got me. I don't know who that is. So he was super excited. I went and because we would carpool, I picked him up in the morning and he's like, hey, remind me when you drop me off, I got to give you this little figure. It's Yoda. Okay, you're good to go. And so the next day he gets in the car and he tells me, I've got some bad news. He goes, it went through the wash. And it's paper mache.
It doesn't look too bad.
No, it doesn't. So it was a bobblehead, a paper mache bobblehead, and the head was fused to the body.
So it doesn't bubble anymore.
Okay.
It's just
so it's just,
So
yeah.
he's like, I'm so excited. So he's like, it doesn't, I'm super excited to give it to you. Here you go. So he gives me this little tiny Yoda, right? I look at it, and in 2 seconds, I go, Dave, this is Shrek. And he looks at it and he's like, what? And he goes, oh my gosh, it is Shrek, isn't it? He's got the brown pants, the white shirt,
with the brown
brown
vest.
suspenders. So it's twofold. It's twofold. Not only did it go through the wash and get destroyed, he called out the store owner for not knowing who it was, and he didn't even know who it was. He thought it was Yoda and it was Shrek.
So the guy that owns the store doesn't know who Yoda or Shrek is.
No, apparently. Could you imagine if the owner would have said, yeah, that's Shrek? He'd be like, no, it's Yoda. They would have thrown down. Dave gets arrested and ends up in Mexican jail because he gets in trouble for
He got into a fist fight with whether or not a
over
character is Yoda.
Yoda or Shrek. So we've determined, because who in Star Wars wears a brown pant and white shirt?
Brown pants and white
Well-
shirt?
Well, Han Solo.
I mean, they're blue. Aren't
They're
they?
blue.
Yeah, their
Yeah.
blue vest is black, but it
You know,
kind
but
of
he
looks
wears a
like
vest,
Han's
Yeah,
outfit.
so it looks like a Han Yoda or Shrek. So this has now been, well, I will bring it in. I have it.
It's sitting on our kitchen counter on a little display in the middle of the.
I will bring it in. And so now we call him Han Yoda Shrek. Because it's just all the above. The wash has turned into a conglomerate of it. So
Even though you said Han Yoda Shrek, the way that you say it, I was thinking it was like Yoda Shrek was like a last name, like some sort of like Eastern European. So I was like, who the heck is Han Yoda Shrek?
yeah,
Right.
yep.
And I was like, I have no idea who this guy is.
So I remember just laughing when I saw it because I was like, he gave me all this build up and he gives me this Yoda. And it's like, dude, this is Shrek, man. I know Yoda, and he's completely right over his head, you know.
So funny.
Like how? Like is it literally just like an inch tall?
He's about that big.
And like I can't believe that like Yoda and Shrek don't look that.
It's even got the
Okay.
ears though, like
here's
the tube ears, you know, because he pulls the wax out. Yoda or Shrek does, you know,
Yeah,
pulls
the
them
candle,
out.
yeah.
Here's the thing though, like Han Yoda Shrek has long legs. Like long, thin, skinny
Yeah,
legs.
they hang off
It's-
the edge. It like sits on the edge of a table.
But in what universe would Yoda
Have long legs.
have long legs?
He was
Maybe he
Even
was
to
just
hang
crouching
over.
the whole time.
He was even in the minifigure with. They made shorter legs for his minifigure. Lego did because he doesn't have
true.
long legs. So
Poor Dave.
yeah,
Oh
so
my
that
gosh.
was one of the purchase fail stories. Is,
Dave needs to go back to Mexico.
How much did you
And he
say?
needs to pay the guy full price.
yeah, he should.
Did he say how much he paid for it?
I mean, I would guess less than $10.
That's hilarious.
You know, whatever.
I
that
would
is in
hope no
pesos,
more.
50 pesos or something like that. I don't know what the conversion is right now, but
That's the best.
So yeah,
So-
we'll bring it in and we'll show him off. Maybe
But-
post a picture over Jeremy's face of Han Yoda Shrek.
Chris, we have room to post this. Here, cut to the B-roll and then put it just right here.
There you go.
But Jeremy's face is so much. Okay.
Okay.
In the last-
I want to talk about this.
Wait, I can talk about the last.
Yes.
Okay.
Chris is editing. So my favorite part of doing these, Chris, is seeing how you interpret the edits because they're always really good.
Oh my gosh.
And so Chris sends us
Pure gold.
The most recent draw Lego game, right?
No, I think that was a guess one.
Was it guess one?
I think so.
Oh, it was a minifigure.
Yes. Yeah.
It was the last
first. It was the
minifigure.
first. Yeah. It was the first
Okay.
minifigure
Yes.
game. Yeah.
Yep.
And so we watch it through, and then Kara goes, "Oh, I'm gonna post over Jeremy's
Picture
face."
of
And I'm
me
like,
and Dooku.
and so, you know, Chris does the wipe. And the first time we saw it, we're like, oh, what a cool effect. It didn't even make me feel bad about having my face covered up. And then so this time I was like, no, you're not. And then Chris reverses it.
It was
so
so
funny.
good.
And then it's when you can double down on a laugh is really funny too. So Kara does, we'll post me and Kenobi here. It's like, no, I'm not. And Chris, the fact that he put it in, and then Chris asks for the photos. He's like, oh, we do a recap at the end of each episode. We talk about what links we need and what photos we need and stuff like that. And you even asked for the photos, and I forgot about that part of it. So I just love to see what you do. And then coming out soon, our next build is going to be a race.
Yes.
And the
I'm not
intro
gonna-
to the race
I thought it was an ad for what our
subject is.
yeah.
It's
It
gonna
was
be
it was
so
that good. Like I kind of zoned it out because I thought it was an ad, and I was waiting for the actual thing that Chris sent, and Jeremy's like, "No, Kara, this is it." And I was like, "What?" So
Yeah, no,
I
it was
mean,
really good. It was really good.
we're
So
very
I always
lucky
love,
to have Chris.
I always love. I'll never forget seeing the Tantive 4 build for the first time either.
Yeah.
I was like, oh man, this is so good, so much fun.
Well, it's like, and I always try to bring some, like, I don't want to just be like, oh, okay, whatever, I'm just doing another one of these. Just do the same
Right.
stuff that I always do. I try and do something, like, different or add a different little, like, twist to it. Because otherwise, you know, it's like, what's the point of doing it?
Right.
You know, it's like trying something new or fun. So, like, the race one, we tried a completely different camera configuration than we
Yep.
normally would do.
Yep, absolutely.
So, and I think it'll work out pretty nice.
I really like how we've kind of found our niche and there's a lot of there's a decent amount of time lapse builds and Lego stuff on YouTube, but I think our videos really capture the essence of what it's like to build Legos.
Yeah.
And that's what's so fun about them is it's like you will be going along and you'll miss like one step and then you get 20 bricks past that. You're like, what? Where did I miss that? You know?
Okay. Here's the thing: when it gets to 20 bricks past it, it's not my mistake; it's your
No,
mistake.
no. They're throwing salt over there. It's on.
It's shade. Throwing shade,
Throwing
not salt.
shade over there.
Throwing salt. Get a limited edition Jeremy throwing salt T-shirt in the shop
Right,
now.
that's right.
Yeah, I'll design it.
Oh, I know.
Just Jeremy hucking salt shakers.
Well, Kara just talked about drawing. I tried to draw a web comic for one of the, it's just not possible as a story. One of the design or the things we came up with. I tried to draw and I did the first figure in the first panel and I'm like, nope, I can't do this. So that was a bummer.
Poor Jer Bear.
So you can be the idea person. She'll draw the things.
I know,
Or we'll
I
just
know.
make Chris draw things because Chris can do anything.
I definitely cannot draw.
I have to say, I'm going to have to start keeping tab of how many times we talk about, oh, Chris can do it.
Yeah.
Oh, we want to do this? Chris
We
can
should
do it.
tally it. We should
You
just
know?
keep a running
Because it makes me laugh.
count.
now.
And
Just whatever
Not makes me
massively insane stuff that you want me to try. Like, I feel like I could do what you want me to what you ask me to do, but at the same time, it's like, how much of my life am I going to put into this 3 second long? That mustache thing took me like 2 hours to do.
do you know
In
how funny
hindsight-
that was, though?
Oh man, talk about editing surprises. That was one of them. And
It
then my
was
mom
so
was watching,
good.
and she swore you were gonna do a beard next.
I
And
was
like,
trying to find one that was the right angle, and I couldn't find one.
but the
I was
mustache-
going to, absolutely.
I feel so,
So
bad because if I
good.
would have just sat here, it would have been fine. The fact that I had to be all jerky, and I was like, ooh.
And you
trying
moved
to
around
be
for such a
funny.
long time. Like,
Okay,
as I'm
so-
keyframing it, I'm like, oh, okay,
Jeremy,
he's going to be done
look
soon.
directly at the camera. Everybody, this is what Jeremy looks like with a beard.
That's a pretty sweet beard, Jeremy.
I like it.
How was that, Chris?
But that'll make my life a little bit simpler, I think.
So, but anyways, yeah, I love seeing what Chris comes up with in post. When
Yeah.
I saw that you actually did that, it made me. I was like, oh, I feel so bad now because I've been on that side of it. And there's a saying that at least I know this, Chris. We don't take it for granted, but in photography or video production, too many people throw
Yeah.
around the words, "We'll fix it in post." And it is not the mindset to have.
No.
So
No, it's
and I
not.
try not to do that to Chris. Whether it's like Chris says, "Hey, I need lights," or "I need this and this and this," and we get them. So try to do that, make it easier. for
Well,
you,
I appreciate that.
you know.
So, yeah, like, everything I've done up to this point, I feel has been worth it. But it's just like, sometimes I'll have a moment where it's like, I literally have spent 2 hours of my life animating a mustache on this guy's face. Or it's like, I'll be making the thumbnails, and it's like, how many times am I going to Photoshop around Jeremy's crotch?
right, yeah, I know, right? For the thumbnail picture.
It's just like, man, this is like, if somebody just walked in, like, it's just blown up to like huge so I can see the pixels, and I'm just like pen tooling around the southern
Oh my
hemisphere of Jeremy,
gosh.
and it's just like, it's so awkward.
See, and that's one of the fun things I like, and why I wanted to just do the podcast in the first place is just talk about some of the stuff of what it's like to make YouTube videos behind the scenes, because there is so much to it.
Yes, there is.
so much to it. But like right now, we're filming in stage 2, and I really like that we have stage 1 and stage 2.
This stage is so much nicer.
Well, it's easier for doing podcasts. That's for
It
sure.
is. I like I said, I like my comfy couch.
Yeah, my mom sat in that couch, and then she sat in the chair, and she's like, "I know why Kara picked this.
Dang right.
So much more comfortable." Well, I don't know what our runtime is, Chris, but I'm going to go ahead and call this episode. We're going to wrap it up.
Yeah.
Next week, we're going to shoot to have on, let's shoot for Bill.
Yeah.
Have on a guest next week. I think we're ready. We're ready to do that. It'll be
Bill's
fun.
gonna see this before we ask him.
Yeah.
Just kidding. We'll
So
probably ask
just,
him tomorrow.
when you see this part, Bill, just send them a text and be like, yes or no.
Yeah.
Or,
Right?
or it could be like one of those notes from like middle school where it's like, yes or definitely yes.
Right? Yes.
I like that, because then if you do yes or no, people circle the or
Or.
because they think they're the first one.
Man, people that are 13 years old are not
I
clever.
know. So,
Yeah.
But no, this was a lot of fun. I think it was really good, and we just want to say thank you guys for watching, and keep tuned for what we stay posted for what we're doing. We got a lot of fun stuff planned out. We have a trip to the Galaxy's Edge. We're going to be going over. We're going to
That's
try
coming
to do
up in
something.
like 3 weeks.
3
Yeah.
weeks.
Yeah. We're going to do something fun for the 4th of July. We're going to be at GalaxyCon this November. We're going to be doing some video game stuff, some more 3D printing stuff, some cosplay stuff. It's just, it's so much to organize and get scheduled, but we'll get there. Get there and it'll be good.
And of course, like more games and shenanigans and stuff
Oh,
like that
of
too.
course.
Time lapses, Lego builds.
Oh, I love the
Finding
time
ways
lapses.
to make Jeremy spend ridiculous amounts of money on
Oh
stuff.
yeah, I know.
All I
Right?
need to do is bat my eyelashes a couple times, and Jer Bear buys it for me.
Yeah. So, all
right.
right. Well, thank you everybody for watching. Like, comment, subscribe.
May the force be with you.